Do you think that somebody can become a famous master of a skill when they have had to deal with disease and mental illness in the family? This man did. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are all well. My name is Bryce Harrison. Today I will be discussing Edward Munch. First, I will cover his early life, then his art career, and finally, I'll cover the impact he left on the art community. With that said, let's begin. Edward Munch had a very difficult life. I'll be using information from Munch Musette to elaborate. First, let's start at the beginning. Edward Munch was born in Adelsbrück, a small town in Loten Municipality, Norway. He was born in 1863. As I said, Munch had a very tragic family life. His mother died of tuberculosis in 1868. Munch was only 5 years old. Later, his sister died of the same affliction in 1877. Munch's father faced his own challenges. I'll be using information from the art story to explain. His father suffered from mental illnesses, ranging from depression all the way to visions that his family's illness was a punishment from God. He was a medical officer for the military. This meant that his family was moving quite frequently, and they were relatively poor. Both of these issues were compounded by the fact that he was a single parent, although he was assisted in raising his children by his sister-in-law. Edward Munch suffered chronic asthmatic bronchitis and a weak immune system. The deaths in his family, his father's mental illness, and his physical ailments changed his perspective. He began to view his life as being ruled by the twin black angels of disease and insanity. Now that we have covered his early life, we can discuss his art career. Munch had a very successful art career that lasted for over 40 years. I'll be using facts from the Encyclopedia of World Biography to cover this. His art style evolved multiple times. He started studying art in 1880 and joined a realist artist circle. Later, he was influenced by French post-impressionists. After the death of his father in 1889, Munch suffered a spiritual crisis and began to view his art as symbolism. His art began to gain fame. In 1881, Munch put his art in the Berlin Artists Association's show. They were removed for being scandalous. However, the publicity from the event allowed him to sell many paintings. And in 1894, Munch began creating prints of his paintings to make them more accessible. Things would not stay so favorable for Munch, however. In 1889, after the death of his father, Munch began work on the Phrase of Life, which consisted of 22 paintings, the names of which you could summarize his mental state. Examples are melancholy, despair, anxiety, and the scream. In 1808, Munch checked himself into a sanitarium, where he remained for 1 year before returning home and living the rest of his life in solitude, never marrying. Munch passed away in 1944. He had over 1,000 paintings, 4,000 drawings, and 15,000 prints in his house at the time. His most famous works include The Scream, Ashes, and Madonna. And now I'll talk about his influence on the art world. To discuss his legacy, I'll be using information from the art story. After Munch's death, he donated his paintings to Norway, and eventually a museum was built specifically for them. His specific style was not used by many other artists, but his themes were very inspirational to many. Painting his feelings using intense colors in a semi-abstract manner pioneered German expressionist movement. His style of strong contrasting colors and semi-realistic human caricatures would prove, quote, enduring, expressive, and stylistic hallmarks of expressionism, Fauvism, symbolism, and even surrealism. Today I discussed Edward Munch, covered his early life, his art career, and his legacy that he left behind on the art world. In conclusion, Munch lived a very difficult life, but by channeling his negative emotions into his artwork, he was able to create beautiful and impactful masterpieces. I hope you have found this speech to be informative and enjoyable. Thank you for listening.